Will $1 ever become 5 ringgit? Bank Negara says no. We do not own any shares mentioned on the slides. Sadly, we do own some ringgit. Now guys, if you're really interested in building a 6 to 7 figure portfolio, we've got the perfect solution for you. Head over in the comment section or the description to sign up for our free masterclass where you can get all these proven steps to achieve it. We start with MBSB before we talk about the ringgit. There's something quite interesting going on with the company. Share price hasn't really moved this year. There's a bit of a jump, but apparently it's to do with billions, right?
Yes.
This company recently.
Yes. So MBSB is going to be acquiring MIDF,
Wow.
which is a capital fund company,
Yes.
I'll say. Yeah. For about 1 billion ringgit, but it's not going to be in cash. It's going to be issuing these new shares. So these 1 billion, or actually 1.05 billion to be specific, new shares will be actually worth about 96 cents per share. That is about like a 40% premium as compared to what is MBSB is currently trading. So that's actually very interesting when I look at this news. So immediately, I believe everybody who read these news, immediately they'll think that, oh, does that mean MBSB is worth 96 cents right now? So yeah, that's actually also my immediate reaction when I saw these news, which is very interesting. Now, just want to get a little bit on context. So right now, EPF, which owns about 65.9% of MBSB, will actually be kind of diluted once PNB and MIDF come into MBSB's holdings. So you can notice that from 65%, they will actually be down to 57%, whereas PNB will own about 12.78% of MBSB. So that is something for you to take note of when there's these transitions happening. Now, so this is what the left-hand side is more of MBSB's balance sheet. So you notice that once they actually merge, they say that they will be worth about 61.79 billion in assets. They will have this kind of asset. So during that time, I believe MBSB have about 55 billion. So roughly, if you calculate most likely the MIDF asset is worth about like 6 billion.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one thing that you can know. And also another thing to take note is that this MIDF Al-Raj, he actually proposed that MIDF's book value is actually around like 1.7 billion, but this is in 2019. So I'm not sure whether this figure has changed or not because it has been 4 years already. But if let's say it stays the same, most likely their total equity will be around like 10 billion if this MIDF comes into the picture. So that is a few things that for you to know on this information. And so we have a little bit of financials on how much does MIDF actually make in revenue and also in profit. So you can see that they have been making about 300 to 400 million in terms of top line, and then in the bottom line they actually make about 70 million. However, they didn't really disclose like what is this company is worth, what is really value at. That is something for you to actually research because I didn't really study much about MIDF. But so this is basically just the numbers of the company. Now, if you actually do a quick math on the existing shares that MBSB has and the current share price, and also if you add the new shares with MIDF, you actually come to a share price of around 67 cents per share. So
it's slightly, just a bit, 10%.
5%.
Less than 10%.
Yeah, it's like 5% only. So that will actually derive a fair value for MBSB. So right now, I think at this recording, it is about 65 cents already. So you have like another 2 more cents of potential gains from it. Not financial advice though.
Upside.
Upside. Yeah. But this is just a quick math on if this happen, if this really deal actually succeed. So the final comments about this is that whether there's an arbitrage opportunity. Now, why I say there's an arbitrage opportunity besides the 2 cents, is because we're not sure whether this MBSB will be worth just 67 cents or maybe they will be worth 95 cents because of MIDF coming into the picture, right? So how you can value MBSB right now is actually you need to guesstimate how much does the market actually value MIDF. What do you think MIDF is going to be worth? So that is the number one question that you need to know on whether they are actually worth more lah. So I believe that is about MBSB. It's a very short one only, because we don't really have a lot of information. A lot of it has to do with you have to do your own digging in terms of MIDF's financials and everything, and maybe talk to people who actually worked before in MIDF. Maybe they'll know something about it. Yeah. Any comments on MBSB?
Not really.
Yeah.
But guys, before we move on, if you're someone looking to level up their stock investing skills and you need a lot more guidance, we do have a one-on-one program called the Mentorship Program. If you're interested, you can apply it in the comment section or the description. And
the next one is I believe we talked about this in our previous video already, but why we are talking about this is because there's a new headline where they show like 1 USD equals to 5 Ringgit. Which actually created quite a lot of hoo-ha around Malaysians. As usual, they will say that Malaysia is doomed and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it sells, right? Negativity sells.
Yes, exactly. So if you look at the current price action, it is going up a little bit. Right now, it's actually like 40 cents away from becoming 5 Ringgit. And that is what people are expecting. However, we have our BNM Assistant Governor actually confidently said that it will not hit 5 Ringgit against US dollar. And the reason is because they did mention that Malaysia, we are not really experiencing any form of crisis.
Right.
For it to happen, we have to go through like multiple crises according to that. I'm not sure what
interesting what they were referring to when they said, okay, so the full quote is when we went through the levels from 2.5 to 3 and then 4,
we were in a crisis.
We were in a crisis, but now we are not in a crisis. So what are they referring to?
So if you look at over here,
right,
I think it is over here. I'm not too sure what crisis do they refer to.
Yes, so this should be 1 MDB. This is what they are referring to. Okay, so if I translate what they're trying to say, I think they're trying to say that whatever they're experiencing now is nowhere close to the kind of situation that our former PM Najib put us into with the whole 1 MDB saga. Which makes sense. However, it doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't follow that because we are not in that kind of crisis, therefore it will not hit 5. You know? There are all sorts of other things that are not within our control. So again, if I actually summarize it even further, 1 MDB stuff like that is internal and it's within our control.
Yes.
And we messed it up. That's why the currency became different, right? But what affects the ringgit is also very external.
Yeah.
However, I will agree that internal issues and challenges will affect the ringgit more than external. If I had to guess, yes, that is correct.
I mean, statistically, it's proven already, right? Like if you look at back then, the 1 MDB.
Yes, but if you look back further to 1997, let's say, it's a bit mixed, right? Because on one hand, you get
both sides also is affecting external and internal.
Yes, correct. Of course, then we had capital controls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yes. But anyway, so for it to actually happen, right, the 5 Ringgit equals to 1 USD, I believe one thing that definitely the most obvious answer is whether foreign investors are still investing in Malaysia. So if we see signs that they are not coming to Malaysia, that is a bad sign, right? But the good news is that we are seeing growth in FDI. So that actually cancel out why it will not happen, the 5 Ringgit equals 1 USD. And the second one is actually to do with interest rate. So it's basically a question of whether we can afford another hike in rate. So generally, if our interest rate is increasing again, there will be chances that our ringgit would appreciate against USD, right? Yeah. So then that backs to the question to us consumer: can we handle another rate hike? If we cannot, so I mean, we just take it as it is, and just
we are having the same conversation we had maybe 6 months ago when we hit 4.8. As you remember,
4.7 something. Yeah,
4.7 something, right? And people were just going on and on, but they forget that everyone else was facing. I still remember I created a chart. Actually, this is maybe more than 6 months ago. How Japan was really much worse in a lot of other countries. The pound, right? Or rather, sorry, the euro became almost parity with the US dollar, something like that.
Yes, there's 1 point.
It's really a global thing, and like I'm not sure why are we redoing the panic and redoing all the negativity. But like I said, it sells, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if it gets the views, then they got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third one is more on the politics side internally, which is Malaysia. So right now, I'm not too sure. I think there's like some noises here and there about the politics. I'm not going to go through a lot because that is very unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen. But so far, I think we are still smooth sailing, so to say. Yeah, nothing much of a big issue internally, so that also cancels out. And the last one is, how are we actually managing our country's debt? I believe we are right now about 65% of debt to GDP, which I think is still quite manageable.
The key is to make sure that the debt doesn't spike very quickly in a short span of time, because there's nothing wrong actually with an increasing debt to GDP if you can control it. It's not so much the size of your debt, but the interest that you have to pay on those debt. That's the issue.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, if all of these four you think that is the comments are very positive, and nothing much can actually affect Malaysia right as of now. I mean, chances of us, the ringgit, hitting 5 ringgit to 1 USD is very minuscule, so to say. So
but it's definitely possible.
Of course, there's a possibility.
That's why it's important to learn how to invest so that you can overcome it. And also, if you are one of those who say that, well, I'm going to invest overseas because of the ringgit, all the best to you. However, do take note that not everyone can do well. In fact, most people will not do well in overseas investing.
Yes.
So let me give you a perfect case study. That will be 2021, 2022. All right. I mean, this whole ringgit story, as you can see, it depreciated.
Yeah.
During these years as well. Leading up to here. And many were saying that therefore don't want to invest in Malaysia. So what did they do? 2021, at the peak, they bought into all the big tech stocks, your Teslas of the world and stuff like that. I know a lot of Tesla investors are like super happy about the run up recently, but then if you zoom out and you look at it from 2021 perspective, right, you're pretty much still down, right?
Yes.
So do take note that yes, currency depreciation definitely hurts your money. However, buying stocks that are overvalued and basically making wrong investments also depreciates your currency, sometimes quite a bit faster and quite a bit more.
Yep, exactly. So I mean, right now we've seen like people talking about Nvidia because of the spike. Talking about because of AI also, and then now Apple also it's like because of their Vision Pro and everything. So everybody's talking positively. But there may be signs that maybe there's some overvaluation already. I'm not sure you can feel it. I mean, I personally I felt it already. So not financial advice, but that's just my own opinion on these two companies. And before you guys go, this is FIRL Pro's performance for May. Both portfolio has been doing very well. And also we did share a lot of our opinions on overseas stocks also, specifically for Hong Kong and China.
We're not against overseas investing, but
yes,
We caution.
Yes. So we have like one US stock and then a few China companies also that is in FIRL Pro. So if you want to know more about them, make sure to check out FIRL Pro. The links are in the description and comments. And if you're still not convinced, we have a free sample for you. The links are also in the description and comments. Now, I think that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something about MBSB and also our ringgits situation. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye bye.